These are 10 of the craziest Roblox Bedwars facts I bet you didn't know. Did you know that back in the day, iron armor used to be only made out of blocks? Yes, you heard me correctly, blocks. This was because that back in the early stages of Bedwars, the developers didn't have enough time to finish the model for the armor, so they were simply blocks. Roblox Bedwars was released on May 28th, 2021, making the game a little over a year old. And when they released the game, they didn't have any kits, battle passes, or any game modes. The only game mode that you could play back then was squads. And it's safe to say that the developers have made tons of progress on the game. We always get that one person who loves to get emerald armor as soon as possible. But did you know that you can actually one-shot a person with emerald armor? Firstly, you need to equip the alchemist kit. And then we're going to need to craft a poison potion. Now, on their own, they actually don't do that much damage. They kind of suck. But by using the fire-free enchant, we can now do loads more damage. And of course, this isn't anywhere close to being one shot. But if you hold the mass hammer, it actually gives the potion a massive damage buff. Let's try it. And as you can see, it one-shots emerald armor, super overpowered. Did you know that a couple months ago, the developers unintentionally released a bug where you could get 2 kits for free? Back when the Ember and Lumen kit came out, the developers forgot that you can gift players the kits for just 1 Robux, essentially making the kits free. Now, of course, as soon as the developers realized this, they patched it. But if you are one of those lucky people who got gifted the Ember and Lumen kit for free, you now have 2 extremely overpowered kits. On June the 21st, the Baker Kit was added, introducing 2 new items, the apple and the baker's pie. But did you know that you can actually heal infinite health with the apples? Well, kinda. There's a glitch that's currently in the game, but you can eat 2 apples at a time. Simply buy a crap ton of apples, take some damage, and when you're about to finish eating one of the apples, switch to another item, and boom, we've just healed double the amount of health. Balloons have had a really long history in Roblox Bedwars. During early release of Roblox Bedwars on July 19th, Bedwars added balloons, probably the most controversial item in the game. But did you know that back when they first released, balloons only cost 1 emerald for 3 balloons? And you could also stack an infinite amount of balloons, which is pretty damn OP. But then during September, balloons got a massive nerf, where right after equipping them, there was a 5-second cooldown before you could use a balloon. Later that day, the cooldown was replaced with players only being able to stack 6 balloons at a time, which in my opinion is a lot better than the 5-second cooldown they had. Did you guys know that there is an item in the game that is currently better than the Rage Blade? This is a very secret item, which is only obtainable in custom matches. And this item that I'm talking about is the baseball bat. This secret item does 100 base damage to a person wearing no armor, without any enchants and without any upgrades, making the baseball bat the strongest weapon in the game. The baseball bat also deals the most knockback in the game as well, making it arguably the best item to ever exist. Gen splitting is a really simple trick that some of the top players on the leaderboard use all the time. Did you know that just like in Minecraft Bedwars, gen splitting is a feature in Roblox Bedwars, and it's a simple trick that some of the top players on the leaderboard use every single game. Basically, you have one person standing close to the generator, but far enough so they don't collect any materials. And then the second person comes along and collects the materials, and you both get the juicy loot, essentially doubling the iron intake. This is a really simple trick that you guys can use in your ranked games, your squad games, and your duos games. The new level 50 kit is pretty damn OP, and arguably one of the new best kits in the game. Since after every kill you get, you not only get a speed increase, but you also get a damage increase. But what if I told you that this kit is actually way more overpowered than you think? When you combine this kit with the baker's pie, you go insanely quick. Which is cool and all, but what if you ride a dodo bird, which also increases your speed? And combining the 3 items together, we go super quick, and it's probably the fastest you can go in the game, until anti-cheat catches up to you when you go flying backwards. This new level 50 kit also makes snowballs really overpowered. If you combine snowballs with the Zephyr kit plus the fire-free enchant, you can do tons of damage to anyone in the game. With just 10 snowballs, you can kill someone with emerald armor. The Raven Kit is actually pretty overpowered and no one talks about it. You can use the Raven Kit to stop balloon spammers or just deal a ton of damage to stacked players. The Raven Kit with static is pretty overpowered in 30v30. However, when you combine the Raven Kit with the Fire Free enchant, it becomes insanely overpowered, dealing tons and tons of consistent damage. And here are some bonus facts. On May 14th, the Ember and the Lumen kit was added to Bedwars, and with this update came its fair share of glitches. For a couple of weeks, you could abuse the Ember kit to get infinite health. Now, since the ability back then was really broken, you could just infinitely spam it, simply by going into a 30v30 game and getting the Ember Sword. Now, since the ability was broken, you could just infinitely spam it every time you swung your sword. And then once you've got the sword, you get lifesteal too, and then drop into the red team's base, and then you get all your health back plus some extra shield. Now, thankfully, they did fix the kit and they did nerf the lifesteal enchant. However, it's still a really effective way to maintain a high amount of HP. We all know that ghost blocks were patched. Ghost blocks were really useful for clutches and negating full damage entirely, and they're still pretty useful. What if I told you that there is a way to get ghost blocks back in the game? When Bedwars dropped Season 5, they released the Lucia kit. Now with this kit, you get a pinata, and if you place the pinata then jump off the map, you'll respawn with another one. And since you can only place one pinata at a time, you can use this pinata as a ghost block until the other one gets destroyed, and then you'll have to buy another one. Roblox Bedwars has had some pretty interesting features added into the game. Did you know that there was a concept where you could buy potions with diamonds? In the early stages of the cauldron item, it would work similar to the enchanting table, where you could repair the cauldron for 8 diamonds, and upon opening it, you would be able to buy potions for 3 diamonds. Although this never made it to the actual game, you can still spawn the old cauldron in by doing /give cauldron. Personally, I would have loved to see this in the game, and I actually prefer this concept over the actual cauldron. Let me know what you guys think about this item in the comment section below. Personally, I would have loved to see this in the game. This is a 1-block jump, and this is a 2-block jump. And apparently the maximum jump distance is 4 blocks. However, what if I told you that you could actually jump 5 blocks? You probably wouldn't believe me, but it's actually possible. You'll need to get into a position where you're climbing against something, like a bed or just a tower of traps. Then shift lock and sprint sideways. This way you will actually be able to walk slightly faster than usual. And this will let you make a 5-block jump. So those were 10 of the craziest Roblox Bedwars facts. If you found any of these facts helpful and if you want to see more, please consider subscribing.